22 hours and 41 minutes, and that's biblical time. As we know, it's on 4:21 p.m. As we know, as still on this channel, as it's still TGIFF. Thank God it's fast and fellowship day. And as we know, once the sun go down, that's when we fuel ourselves with fruits and vegetables and water. But as we know, the Shabbat is about to start once the sun go down. As you know, I'm at the water as we do our due diligence. I always bring it in the Shabbat. As we say, fellowship and worship. Get off of YouTube as well too. Always be one accord, understanding the things which you should change with yourself. And as turn this around, let me bring it in. And as we do our due diligence, and as you see, but as once again, all praise to you, Father Yah and the Son Yeshua, as we come to you 23 hours, 22 hours and 22 minutes. And as we doing our due diligence, and as we know, we had 24 hours of the day, but at the same time as we keeping the Shabbat. And as we say, once the sun go down, no flesh desires. And as we keep the Shabbat, just doing our due diligence when it come down to keeping the Sabbath. And as we say, for those one accord, get off the YouTube as well too. And as we're going to keep praising and rejoicing in Yeshua's name, amen. Hallelujah. And as we do our due diligence, and as I bring in Genesis 1, and as it teaches about Elohim creation. And as the teacher says, in the beginning, Elohim created the heaven and earth. And the earth was without form and void and darkness, and was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of Elohim moved upon the faces of the waters. And Elohim said, let there be light. And there was light. And Elohim saw the light, that it was good. And Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning was the first day. And as you see, as it's light outside, but you understand that the Bible teaches that he's separating the day and from the night, for we can understand that we have 12 hours of light and 12 hours of dark, and that make 24 hours. And as we know, that don't have nothing to do with the sun right now. But at the same time, he was just separating them from dark and light. And as it teaches in 5, and as it teaches, it says, 6. And Elohim said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Elohim made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And Elohim called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning was the second day. And as we see in the second day, the Father made the heavens and the sky. The sky is a firmament, and with water, as well as at the same time as we do our due diligence. But as we know, as we understand, as the Father said, waters in verse 2. Verse 2 in chapter 1. But as we do our due diligence, understanding that the Father created the heavens and the firmament, as y'all see, with the sky, but it's blue, but at the same time, it's beautiful. And as the teacher said, Elohim said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And Elohim called the dry land earth, and gathering together the waters called he seas. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruits after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And Salakia, and the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning was the third day. And as we brought this out a couple of days ago, just about fruits and water and the herbs and things like this. And as you see, the Father created all this in 3 days. The grass, the seeds, the trees, everything that we can plant, the seeds for we can grow things, as the Bible teaches. And as it teaches in 14, and Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens. Heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Elohim made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, as you see, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And Elohim set them in the firmament of the heaven to give upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning was the fourth day. And as we see, as we have the star and the suns and the moons is for the signs, for the seasons as well. And as we know, as the Bible teaches that he separated light from dark. Well, from earlier, from chapter 1. I mean, man, verse 1, as he was separating from night from dark, and as you see, as it teaches about the stars, moon, and the sun, and as we say, as Deuteronomy 4:19 will teach all that as well too. Don't worship nothing above, as we're gonna get into that with the commandments. But some of you do. But as it teaches as well in 20, it said that Elohim said, "Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that has have life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in this open firmament of heaven. And Elohim created great whales and every living creature that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly, and after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day." And as you see, as he said with the sea creatures as well, two sea creatures, two male sea creatures can replenish, as he says, and two female creatures can replenish. So this is why we have to understand, as as the Father teaches to replenish, same with male and female, and as it teaches with flesh, as we know in 24. And Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind." And said it was so. And Elohim made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the earth after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him, male and female created he them. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. So as we hear, as the Father said, the same as well as with the animals, two men can't replenish and two females can't replenish. That's abomination, and that Bible teaches about that as well too. The Bible don't condone it, and you shouldn't condone it as well. And it says, Elohim said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And Elohim saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning was the sixth day. So as we know, as the Father created everything in 6 days, and this is why it teaches in the Ten Commandments about 6 days. And as it teaches in 2, it said, Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day Elohim ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that and he had rested from all his work which Elohim created and made. It said, These are the generations of the heavens of the earth when they were created, in the day that Yahweh Elohim made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For Yahweh Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. And as you hear, as the Father had did all his work in 6 days, you hear the seventh day he had rested. He said he was done with his work. And as you will hear as well too, as he said, he sanctified it. So as we know he's sanctified, I let you know it's separate. So as we do our due diligence, and as we know, as in Genesis 3, that's when the first sin had came, and that's when everything with the downfall had come. So as we do our due diligence, as we go to Exodus 20, as we go to the Ten Commandments, as it teaches, and Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. And what y'all see right now, nobody should be worshiping the sun, nothing in the waters, and nothing above, just point blank. The moons or stars, that's what he's saying, point blank, because he is the creator. Instead of worshiping that, you should worship the Father through the Son. And as it teaches in 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. It says, for I, Yahweh Elohim, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh Elohim in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall thy labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh, thy Elohim. Is in it thou shalt not do any work. Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that was in thy gates. For in the 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the Sabbath day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So as it would teach us, as the Father had gave us a commandment and teaching us what we should be doing. And as we know, as we had the 10 commandments, the 10 commandments was because that our forefathers had sinned. So as it teaches us, for those who understand the Torah, this is the things that you should be doing for you could understand how to walk in your faith structure. And as it would teach you in 13, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor. And as we know, as the teachers, we're talking about Israel because we know that he who we made a covenant with, no one else. And this is why we say for those that in the religion beliefs, we don't understand who are you if you're not calling yourself Israel. But as we go to Jeremiah 31, as we know that's the new covenant, and as we do our due diligence with that as well too, for those who can understand, as our forefathers had sinned, and the Father, he was just upset how about our forefathers just kept on doing this, they willingly sinning. And that's for those as well too who like to just wake up willing to sin because you don't have to. But as it teaches in the new covenant, it says, behold, the day comes, says Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which by covenant they break, although I was a husband to them, says Yahweh. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Yahweh. I will put my law in their inward part and write it in their hearts, and will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. And as he teaches this as well, and as you should understand as well, there's no other people besides Israel. And it says, and they shall teach no more, even every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, says Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more. Hallelujah. And as we do our due diligence, and as we say as well, as we come down to the water, and as we always just give the Father all praise, glorifying the Father. As we know, the Father created everything. And this is why we come down, for we can just show the Father that we're being obedient. Same as we have on the white, cleansing and detoxing. As we know, as the Father had created everything that you see. Everything that you see out here, the Father had created, And as you will understand that, the things that you do see, he created you as well, too. Man. But as we know, as we do our due diligence, let me see if I can, no, I don't even see it out here. Sometimes there be the moon out here as well, too. But as we see, as the Father created all this, he created the grass, as we was talking about. You see birds out, you see some seagulls out there. He created them as well too, the fowl. As you see the trees, everything that I just read, the Father created all this. And this is why we glorify the Father through the Son, always giving the highest praise as we do our due diligence. Always understand as well too, as we keep the Shabbat. Always understand the things which you should be changing within. And all this is right here. It's for us. All this for us. And it's free, but it's sad that it's not free because we know the world wants us to pay for things. You understand? But as we do our due diligence, always understand that, as you correct yourself, just always just live in your means. Always understand the things what you need to change with yourself, and just keep glorifying the Father through the Son, and just always stay prayed up. And as you say I'm prayed up, always remember as well as the Bible teaches to fast and pray. And as y'all fast and pray, y'all do your due diligence as well. And as I close out, I want y'all to understand once about, for those that you know who are heathens, you have to understand, as the Bible teaches in Ephesians 5, as it teaches in Ephesians 5. But at the same time, I want y'all to understand that, for those who call yourself Israel, it's time for y'all to understand the things which y'all should be correcting with yourselves. The Bible teaches to show our fruits, and a lot of you don't show y'all fruits. You understand? No one should be on no platforms without showing their fruits. No one should be walking out here on this earth without showing your fruits as well, especially if you call yourself Israel. And as I do my due diligence, let me close out as Ephesians 5 teaches. It's teacher said, let no man deceive you with vain words. Hold on, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up right quick. Yes, as it teaches, it says, let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things come the wrath of ELOHIM upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them, and we not. And it said, be for ye were sometime darkness, and we was. But at the same time, we don't socialize and give fellowship with those who be in that paganism. And as it says, for the fruits of the spirits and all goodness and all righteousness and truth, as the teacher said, proving what is acceptable to Yahweh. So what's acceptable, what's in this book, that's what we're supposed to stand on. And as it teaches, once again, it says, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. And this is what we come on for. As we say that, for those who come in here, y'all like to, y'all be wanting to fellowship, but at the same time, we can't fellowship with those who are heathens, especially for those that who's not one accord. And one accord is for those that who know doing your due diligence and calling yourself Israel. Because if not, this is why Jeremiah 10 teaches to separate ourselves as well. And that's what we do. And as the teacher says, hear ye the word which Yahweh speaks unto you, O house of Israel. Thou sayest, Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them. And as we know, as the heathens call themselves religion, Christianity, Catholic, Islam, and Jehovah's Witness, or whatever that y'all denomination that y'all call yourselves, just remember that it's not in the Bible. So once again, as we down here at the water, as I close out, always remember once the sun go down, that's when the Shabbat begin, and that's when the fast break in as well too. And for all those that who did your fast, it's a blessing. As we had 24 hours, and once the sun go down, that's when the day end. As the Bible teaches you, it's not at no 12 o'clock. And always just understand, once you break your fast, have some fruits and vegetables, nothing heavy, water, and do your due diligence and trust and believe, man, your blessings will be answered. So if y'all here today, keep motivated, rock beyond love you. God love us. But as we say on this channel, Malachi 1, Romans 9:13 teaches that the Father loved Jacob, and that's Israel, and that's the 12 tribes, and he hated Esau. And as we say, it's 9:15, he said, you have compassion, mercy, have mercy. And as we always close out, I said the first 5 books is your who, what, when, where, and how. You just got to understand why you in the situation that you're in. It just change your situations. And as you understand that, the first 5 books will get you together. And if you don't know, it's Genesis, Deuteronomy, Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers. And as you will understand, as you do your due diligence, and the rest of the Bible as well will get you together. So as y'all do your due diligence, join us tonight as well. Get off of YouTube, fellowship, and worship. Always understand, as the Bible teaches, as we do our due diligence, always praising and rejoicing, always putting the Father first, glorify the Father through the Son. Always understand that, as you glorify through the Son, that's how you receive your blessings. Peace and blessings, and shalom.